Don't lie to me. I don't want to hurt you. You're a civilian. But I will if you don't give me a choice.
If you didn't want to hurt anyone, you should have stayed home tonight.
Oh, look! Serif's attack dog! You're here to clean up before the police bust in? He thinks we're breaking the law. Shut up! All you body polluters break laws. You're all the same.
You're gonna have a hard time convincing people you're any different once they hear you had an AUG on your team.
What?
I found your attack dog in the factoring labs, trying to cut through security with his implanted hackware.
Nice try, Cholo. But I would never let one of you freaks on my crew. Ah! Back off, Hunter! I got business to take care of, understand? If what you say is true, and I'm not saying it is, here, but I gotta check things out. So me and la vieja, we're leaving.
Not a chance this ends now.
Her blood is...
He's over there. Adam! Adam, what's happening? What's your situation? Adam!
Sanders is down for the count. SWAT will want to question him, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't know a thing. Somebody else set this up.
Damn it. Okay, I want you back here now. The admin building has a rooftop terrace. Meet for Rita on it.
Copy. Jensen out. Are you all right?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just a little shaken up, but what about the other hostages? My husband was with them in one of the assembly labs, and I overheard talk about a bomb.
Don't worry, they're safe.
Oh, thank God. When those men surprised us. Mr. Jensen, they should not have been able to get in. With the typhoon being moved in and all, I double-checked the protocols myself.
Yeah. I expect Pritchard's doing the same thing right now. Stay here. DPD will want to question you. But you and your husband should be reunited soon.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen. You're a hero.
Jensen? You're the guy who was sent in before us? Those hostages owe you a lot. Nice going. You did good catching the leader, Jensen. Maybe we can get some information out of him.
Access granted.
Seraph Industries isn't breaking any laws.
Sorry, Mr. Thorpe. The target is on lockdown. I can't let anyone in.
But my wife, she's still in there. I need to know that she's okay.
You'll have to wait until the building is secure. Now back up and let the SWAT team do their job, please. I gotta admit, Jensen, I'm glad someone decided to send you in first. No telling what would have happened if one of us ran into that hostage room. Nice job securing the plant. I wouldn't have thought a security guard could handle this. Not even an augmented one.
You're the one Seraph called in to handle this, right? You caught the guy who led these radicals.
My wife, is she all right?
She's fine. A little shaken up, though. Swab will need to debrief her, but you'll see her soon.
I don't know what to say. I think I've given up on her. You're a true hero, man. I'll find some way to repay this, I swear.
There's no need for that. I was just doing my job.
Don't be modest. I didn't recognize you before, but I know who you are, Mr. Jensen. And I know you weren't supposed to be back at work yet. Thank God you are. I'll be in touch. Count on it. Seriously, I can't thank you enough.
You made a lot of people happy tonight, Jensen. And not just the men in suits.
It's what they pay me for.
No. They pay you to put corporate interests ahead of people. You found a way to satisfy everyone. Guess Dr. Reed was telling the truth about you.
Megan? What are you talking about, Malik?
Before you were hired, she said the papers were lying about Mexican Town. That you weren't fired from the force. You quit when you realized Protect and Serve had become Protect and Serve the corporate interest. Nice to see she was right. You ready to go?
Yeah, get me out of here, Malik.
Your wish is my command. Climb in. New orders just in, Jensen. The boss wants Pritchard to examine the Typhoon ASAP.
Copy that. Thanks for the lift.
No problem. Hey, and Jensen, I just wanted to say, new look suits you. Like you haven't missed a beat at all.
Thanks.
So, how's it feel? Being augmented?
Excuse me?
Don't take it the wrong way. I mean, I've got a few neuro enhancements myself. Discreet ones to help me fly better. But I chose to get them implanted. You didn't. Now that you had a chance to try them out, what do you think?
I'm not gonna lie and say they didn't come in handy back there. But like you said, I didn't choose to get augmented.
So it'll take some getting used to. I get it. But don't be surprised if the boss keeps pushing you to get more.
Why? What do you mean?
You know how he is. He thinks augmentations are the be-all, end-all of everything. And he can't understand why someone wouldn't want to become more than human.
Megan used to say the same thing.
I'm not surprised. The research she was doing was pretty damn inspired. Might have convinced a lot more people to give what we make here a try.
If that bastard hadn't killed her.
Listen, Jensen. I know you want to find the men who attacked us, and so do I. If I can help in any way, all you gotta do is ask.
Actually, there is something. I want to know about the first attack.
Fine. Ask away.
Did anyone else see them? The men who attacked?
Not well enough to get a description. Pritchard got some fuzzy images off one of the intellicams, but his tapes were all confiscated by Homeland Security.
Homeland? I heard Homicide passed it over to Special Investigations. Detroit Special Investigations.
They did, for the first month. After that, all I really know is the case is still pending, and Mr. Seraph is not pleased.
You were there that night. What do you remember about it?
That it was chaos. First, everybody figured there'd been some kind of accident, but Pritchard couldn't get a good visual and communications were haywire. Then we heard the explosions. By the time anyone knew what had hit us...
They were gone.
Whoever they were good, Jensen. Special training good.
I've been thinking about why they attacked. What they were really after.
Isn't it obvious? They didn't want us going to Washington.
No, that was just timing. Hearings can be rescheduled. Somebody else can present Megan's findings.
I don't think so, Jensen. They took out her whole team. Declan Faraday, Vasily Savchenko, Nia Colvin, even Eric Koss. The labs their bodies were found in.
Were burned to a crisp. I know.
The only reason you weren't caught in the fire was because that retaining wall came down. Saved your life, believe it or not.
So the whole attack was just to destroy Megan's research.
Sure looks that way. Mr. Seraph is hoping to reconstruct it, but it may take months. If he can keep us solvent that long.
I'm gonna find him, Malik. One way or another.
I believe you. And just so you know, when you do, I've got your back.
I appreciate that, Malik, but right now...
You've got to get the Typhoon into the tech lab, right. See you later, then. Oh, and Jensen, the boss wants a face-to-face debrief in his office once it's secure.
Roger that. Good night, Malik.
I think it's disgusting how public opinion has turned on David so quickly. Like it's his fault these lunatics keep attacking us.
People seem to think we're hiding something.
Only because Eliza Kazan keeps spinning it that way. Seriously, it used to be that when David talked, all of Detroit listened. What happened?
What happened is that David made too many promises he couldn't keep. 20 years ago, Detroit was on its last legs, remember? And Seraph Industries promised to pick it back up.
Oh, like one company and one man can do that by himself. They're a bunch of ungrateful hacks, if you ask me. Adam, I heard you were back, but I just didn't believe it. Gosh, you look good.
Hey, Jensen, heard about what happened in Milwaukee Junction tonight. Is it true they were really after the Typhoon?
Talk's all over the office, Mr. J. You really took care of those Purity First assholes. Wish I could have been there to see it.
I don't buy for a second he was with Purity First. I think someone slipped him into Sanders' group.
Well, if it isn't Mahatma Gandhi himself, come to honor us all with his life-preserving presence. If this is about the Typhoon, I'll get to it in a minute.
Now, Pritchard. I didn't risk my neck to have you lose it in a pile of CPUs and scuzzy adapters.
Well, look at you, using the big words. Don't think just because you hacked through the plant security system so fast that you're an expert on everything computer. There's a reason I can't examine the Typhoon yet.
Do tell.
For your information, I am running a diagnostic sweep on our network and router security to find out how Sanders' hacker got a hold of our codes.
I'd have thought the first question to ask is, whose codes were they? Unless you already know.
Stick to kicking down doors and shooting people, Jensen, and stop trying to do my job. I guarantee you we'll get along better that way. Just leave, Jensen. I'm very busy.
David and you, Darrow?
Waiting for Detroit PD to get answers.
Bill Gates and Steve Jobs talked about it.
He's trying to get Vincent to come out.
I'm telling you, Hugh, he might not have put the gun in Sanders' hand, but it was Taggart's speech to the UN that started all this.
William Taggart is nothing if not a shrewd political operator. You know that, David.
So for the sake of appearances, I have to look him in the eye and let him bullshit me?
With a smile. Always with a smile. We'll talk later.
Yeah, you wanted to see me?
Yeah, how you feeling?
I've had better days.
Well, when we're done here, check him at Dr. Markovic at the limb clinic downtown. Can't hurt to get a checkup.
If you insist. Listen, about Sanders?
You did good today, Adam. And thanks to you, Sanders is behind bars. And my lawyers are gonna make sure he pays for what he did. So don't worry about what anyone else says.
I won't. But that's not why I brought him up. Sanders was tricked into attacking us by the hacker I caught going after the Typhoon.
He's the man we really needed to interrogate today.
Exactly. Only he killed himself to prevent any chance of my doing that. That takes real dedication.
Yeah, or training. You're sure he was augmented?
I pulled his cables out myself.
Yeah, well, the police are saying he's not, and they're refusing to let me see the body, no matter how much money I threaten to pull from their retirement fund.
Maybe someone else is offering more. So what do you want me to do, boss?
We have to get a look at the corpse. You still got friends on the force. You think one of them will let you into the morgue?
Depends who I run into.
Get over to the station and find a way inside. Because if that hacker was augmented, his neural hub might tell us who he was. Contact me when you've gotten a hold of it.
Boss, what you're asking me to do, it's not exactly legal.
No, it isn't. You got a problem with that?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Look, Adam. You know the police never fully investigated that first attack, don't you?
Yes, but...
But nothing. We lost a lot of good people, top people. And I'm beginning to think Detroit PD doesn't give a damn. Someone is pulling strings to keep us in the dark.
And in your world, the ends justify the means.
My world is your world, Adam. And if getting that neural hub illegally will show us who's behind these attacks, and maybe even help us go after them, yeah, you're damn right it does. So get going. That hacker's not gonna be sitting still for long. Get over to the station and find a way inside.
Adam, were you just speaking to David? I didn't know he'd finished his call. Is everything okay?
As well as can be expected.
Right, like I know what that means anymore. The phone's been ringing off the hook ever since Bill Taggart's little press conference this evening.
Taggart. Sarah was speaking about him when I walked in. What's the founder of the Humanity Front saying about us now?
Oh, he's all sincere this time, denouncing all the violence that's been committed against us, offering to come here in person to express his deepest sympathies.
Right. No wonder the boss seems grumpy.
Can you blame him? If it were up to Luddites like Taggart, you would have died on that operating table. The problem is, he knows how to play on people's fears.
Tampering with human biology can be pretty scary.
Tell that to all the war ants whose lives have been improved because of it. But if Taggart has his way, if he can sway popular opinion enough, then the United Nations will be forced to take a stand. Mark my words. That man is trouble. You better get going, Adam. I'm sure whatever they do.
Jensen. Glad to see ya. Damn it, now I sound like his girlfriend or something. Hey, Jensen. Man, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're back. How are you holding up?
I manage.
I'm sorry about Megan. I know it must be hard. For a while, we thought you were a goner, too. Everything's going to shit. The attack on HQ, and now this mess with the factory.
Yeah, tough times all around. How about you, Corella? You okay?
I don't know. I fucked up. I mean bad.
What happened?
Well, a couple of months ago, me and Tyndall, you know, one of Pritchard's techs, we started sneaking out some neuropozyne from one of the labs.
Jesus, Tim. You realize this could get you fired. Worse, arrested if the company chooses to prosecute. What were you thinking?
I know. It's complicated. I didn't want to do it at first, but there were good reasons. Anyway, now I want out, but Tyndall has security footage of me stealing the stuff and says he'll expose me if I ever stop helping him. I'm in a bad spot, Adam. I need that footage back. I know you're busy with everything that's going on right now, but I could really use your help.
Pretty ballsy stealing a patented drug from a secure lab. How'd you manage to do it?
Both Tyndall and I worked the night shift every other week. I stashed the neuropozyne in a bag while he edited the security footage. Guess he kept part of it.
Neuropozyne? What could you guys want with an anti-rejection drug for augmentation patients? Reselling it? Providing a competitor?
Why do you automatically assume I was trying to turn a profit?
How about Tyndall? Can't you reason with him?
You could try, but Tyndall's a pretty driven guy. I mean, the guy's like a rock. You'd need a Casey aug or something to crack him.
Casey?
Social enhancer. It's an augmentation designed to read people's reactions and behavioral patterns. Higher end series even allows you to directly influence people with pheromones or something.
What is it exactly you need me to do?
I need you to get back that security footage Tyndall has on me. It's probably in his apartment, on his computer maybe.
So what? I just look him up in the phone book?
His apartment is near Brooklyn Court. It might be tough to get in because his building has a large security gate protecting it.
Well, that's just great.
Hacking the security gate is possible, but would require advanced hacking skills. You might have to look around for an alternate path, maybe use the fire escape or something.
All right, tell me more.
Really? Wow, thanks, Adam. I thought I was done for. The security footage will probably be on his apartment computer. Meet me in front of the subway station parking lot once you get a hold of it.
I got it from here.
in Washington, the UN wouldn't even be considering it.
This whole thing just brings back bad memories. I love working here, but it's hard knowing that at any second...
God, I can't talk about it. A bunch of radicals burst through the door like right now.
Mrs. Reed?
Ah, Adam, I'm sorry you startled me. And please, call me Cassandra. You and Megan were together long enough. I was waiting for you.
Out here? Why not come meet me inside?
I don't know. I guess I'm just not ready. This is where you work, but to me, this is also the place where I lost my daughter.
I know what you mean. It's never been the same for me either.
I guess it's not meant to be easy. It seems there's just no right way to deal with something like this. And I can't even begin to imagine how things have been for you after all you've been through.
Yeah. A lot of things changed 6 months ago.
I can't get over how much they've changed you. At first, I couldn't even believe you were still alive. How do you handle all of this?
I never asked for this. They say they saved me, but I'm not sure saved is the right word.
I understand your anger. I wouldn't take too kindly to people making that kind of decision for me, either. But that being said, I, for one, am glad that you're still among us.
Can I ask why you wanted to see me?
Yes, of course. I'm sorry. I'm here about Megan. About what happened to her. Or rather, about the investigation into what happened.
What about it?
Well, simply put, I feel something is not quite right with the way the case was handled.
You think there was some foul play involved?
I do. Call it mother's intuition. But when speaking to some of the investigators, there were a lot of inconsistencies. And then I met this detective, a man called Chase. He agreed things weren't handled by the book, although he has no proof.
And now you want to find out more?
I'll never hear my daughter laugh again, Adam. I'll never get a call from her to ask how I've been, or have the chance to ask her about her day. She was stolen from me. However unjustified this all is, I still want to know why it happened. You're not the same, Adam. And we've yet to see if it's for better or worse. But I know you loved Megan. Please, will you help me find out what really happened to her?
I never got a chance to investigate the attack myself. I'll look into it.
Thank you. This means the world to me, Adam. Really.
The first thing I'll need to do is meet with this detective, Chase.
Good. He works part-time as a security guard in an apartment building on Brooklyn Court. I'll be waiting for you in your apartment lobby once you're done.
Why does a detective need to work part-time as a security guard?
Oh, he retired soon after the case. I don't really know the details. Maybe he'll tell you more.
I'm on it.
Do you mind? You believe it? We had the place surrounded, and we were ordered to hang back. Since when did we take orders from David Sarah? More like there was something illegal and they wanted to rent a cop to get rid of. We should have never let that guy in. But Jensen did okay. He helped save the hostage. He got lucky.
You got anything you want to buy or sell? I'm the guy you want to deal with. Everything's on the computer, right at your fingertips. Always a pleasure.
I ain't got nothing for you. Check with the man. And keep your hands where I can see them.
Grayson hooked me up with some real tight merch. Those art lovers get in my face now, I'm ready to pop them.
Grayson? Where he at these days?
Yo, where you been, man? He been running shit through that abandoned gas station for weeks.
Oh, word? I wanted to get some upgrades for my Zenith 10 mil.
He can hook you up nice, man. If you go, tell him I sent you. I want a discount next time.
Word. Yo, you look like the man who knows where to find that good shit.
What you need,
Upgrades,
player?
Weapons, stuff like
Because
that.
I know where you can cop some goods. If you want some.
Hello there. Well, you must be Adam Jensen.
A keen observation.
Mrs. Reed told me you might pay me a visit. And don't take this the wrong way, but you're kind of hard to miss.
I'll try to take that as a compliment. She told me you might have information regarding Megan Reed's case and the attack on Seraph headquarters.
Oh boy, what a mess. Total pissing match. We had the feds on our ass, orders from 3 different departments, and pressure from so many lobbyists it felt like being the scrawny new kid in the prison shower.
It is a very high-profile case. Mrs. Reed said you thought some procedures were overlooked.
You got that right. I mean, you know how it is. Mrs. Reed told me you used to be a cop. There's always cases where you see the lazy officers taking shortcuts. But this was different.
Different how?
Too much stuff got overlooked. People seemed way too eager to jump to conclusions, and every time I was remotely insistent, I got turned down by ranking officers. People wanted to bury this thing fast. That's never a good sign.
Surely you have something more substantial than this.
Yeah, well, that's where you come in. I got a couple of leads I could never fully investigate. I started poking around, but these government-type agents just gave me the creeps. I got scared. Months away from retirement, I didn't want to fuck things up. But you obviously have the means to get to the bottom of this.
So what have you got?
First off, there's a rumor that the order to close the investigation came from higher up, maybe even outside the local department. Anything like that would have passed through Captain Penn. There might be traces of this left on his office computer.
Guess I'll have to pay a visit to the local precinct.
Well, while you're there, there was an officer assigned to the case, Chet Wagner. He's not what you call a choir boy. And when he suddenly got brought on the case, I got suspicious. Somebody wanted him there. And I'm pretty sure he tampered with some of the evidence. You should talk to him. Find out what he knows.
Okay, I'll have a little chat with Officer Wagner.
You'll most likely find him in the lobby. He got retrograded from his conduct, and he takes depositions now. He won't budge easily, but I'm pretty sure you can find some dirt on him on his desktop. His office is on the 3rd floor. You might find something there to help loosen up his tongue.
Anything else worth looking into?
Yeah, when the order came down to close the case, the bulk of the evidence was stashed in a storage locker. Maybe you can find some interesting stuff in there. It's on the alley right next to the station. The code is 4891. But I know an outside agency had access to that locker, so be careful.
Thanks for the heads up.
Bah, it's nothing. And, please, don't bother coming back here with details. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to help. But the less I know about this case, the better I'll feel.
You said an outside agency may have tampered with a storage locker. What did you mean by that?
Well, I've seen, I've heard that government agents may have locked up some of the more sensitive evidence in a safe inside the locker.
Come on, Chase. What are you not telling me?
Damn it! Okay, listen. I snooped around that locker before and found the safe code. But I kinda got caught by one of those guys. He knows I know, Jensen. If I give you the code, they'll know I talked. Call me negative, but I can't think of a nice outcome to that.
Why retire from the force only to become a security guard? I mean, it looks like you still love the work.
I love the idea of being a cop. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to join the force. But I just got fed up. It's not like I had imagined it. It's a job. Some people are good at it, while others just don't care. And it shows. This case, the Seraph case, it was just the last drop in a cup already full.
How did you get assigned to this case?
I didn't push for it, if that's what you mean. To be honest, I didn't want to get involved.
Why not?
I was an honest cop, Jensen. I always tried to conduct myself in accordance with the law, with procedures, and what I believed was right. Not really the standard MO for a case like this.
That's all I need for now.
I, for one, approve of these protests. These Lim people are drug pushers. Someone is getting rich while the rest of us are suffering.
I wouldn't know about those things. All I know is that this violence doesn't serve anyone.
Well, I guess the question now becomes, will the pro-human groups retaliate when Bill Taggart gets here?
He's that humanity front guy, right?
He's speaking at the convention center in a few days.
That's gonna be a day from hell.
Mr. Jensen, David Seraph told me you'd be dropping by. I've just been reviewing the test results we received on you last week.
Should I start rolling up my sleeves?
Surprisingly, no. I see no trace of glial tissue buildup in any of your charts.
It's been 6 months, Doc. Shouldn't I be under opposite shots by now?
One would think, but these test results show no signs of implant rejection. If anything, the bond between tissue and electrodes seems to be getting stronger.
So I'm free to go?
Well, Mr. Seraph did ask me to discuss another topic with you. You are aware that several precautionary measures had to be put into place during your first surgery?
Not all of my implants were switched on, I know.
The damage caused by the hematoma had to be taken into account. Your brain needed time to recover, to get used to the mechanical neural processors and turn them on naturally over time.
Cut to the chase, Doc. What does Seraph want?
He feels that you might be ready to speed up the activation process using special software known as Praxis kits.
You mean I don't have to wait for my augmentations to kick in naturally anymore?
You can, if you prefer. But Mr. Seraph did make a generous donation to LIM in your name, thus ensuring that Praxis software linked to your particular neuro enhancements would always be available to you and you alone. Please, take a look.
Dr. LeBlanc, code blue. Dr. LeBlanc, code blue.
Very well, Mr. Jensen. Use it in good health.
Protesting is not against the law.
I know that, officer. But some of those guys were carrying tire irons and setting garbage cans on fire.
And those were the ones we arrested. The rest were merely exercising their right to free speech.
What about my right to come to work each day without fearing for my life? I've still got to walk home tonight.
I understand your concern. But if you want round-the-clock protection, I suggest you hire a private security company.
Go on in. We're still open.
Adam, are you finished at the clinic?
For now.
Good. Right now I want to know who that corpse is. Head over to the police station and get his neural hub. And Adam, if you can't talk your way in, consider making a strategic retreat. There's gotta be another entrance in the side of the building.